Gonna come. There we go. All right, well, welcome. This is Madeline's Craft Room, and tonight in this Facebook Live, we are going to have a look at the waves of the ocean. And this is a brand new collection that's giving a little teaser of some of the things that are going to be in the new annual catalog. And in this collection, we have the bundle, which is this stamp set here, which is amazing. Living close to the ocean. I love anything with the ocean. And whew, this one does deliver. It's beautiful. And then the dies. Oh, and I got some of them out that we're going to use tonight. But these are the dies. And as you can see here, there's two big dies. And that way you can layer them in different colors because they are a little bit different, as you can see. So we're going to use that. Or actually, we're not going to use the die tonight, but I'm going to show you some cards with that. Then we have some clouds and birds, which we will be using tonight. And then there are two label dies, so this bigger one and the smaller one. So lots of great things. So this is what's going to be in the new catalog. Now, one thing that is, and so here it is, the wave of the collection. This is going to be in the new annual catalog. But the designer paper, the blue foils, and these rhinestones are not. They are going to be only as supplies last. And oh man, you're going to want to see them. Oh, there's Leanne. Hello, Leanne. These are the absolutely beautiful rhinestones. Now, you'll see the dark blue ones so happen to be missing. If you know me, you know I like my dark blues, the royal blues. So anyway, those are there. And then we have this amazing, oh, and it's going to look a little blinding because it is a foil and it's beautiful. So we have the Knight in Navy, and we have a silver, and we have a teal, and they are beautiful. So we have that as a limited edition. Hi, Marcia. There she is. All right. Great to have my Alberta friend. All righty. And so, Marcia, we're just looking at all these new papers. This is the absolutely beautiful designer paper. And, oh my goodness, they just keep getting better and better. Look at this one here, too. The amazing colors and how realistic. This, I actually will be posting a video that they posted to show us how they actually did the artwork for making these. They are actually like a pour, and then they've taken pictures of them. And phenomenal. Very artsy. Look at this one, too. And the dark blues. And then we have in... to get the right one. Yep, this one here that has a mixture of some of the greens. I know, it's beautiful, isn't it? And then we have the flip side. If those are not your favorite colors, then you can go to this one, which is yellow with a little bit of the, I'm not sure if that's Petal Pink or Blushing Bride. I can't remember. But then we have these ones. So here we go again. You got the Calypso Coral. Isn't that amazing? And look, some of these you can kind of see pictures with them. It's pretty cool. I guess that's the preschool teacher in me that I see pictures. But here again, look at that one. And every little piece is different, but you can use it for so many different cards and backgrounds. And then we've got this darker one, and then we have this one. So we've got lots of options, but this designer paper is only as supplies last. So if you haven't got some, you might want to do that soon. But let's get going because I'm anxious to show you how we can put this all into practice here. So we are going to start by stamping our little bird. Now, I'm going to just bring my silicone mat in here so we can do some stamping. I've put the stamp onto the block here already. And what we're going to do in this case, I'm going to use crumb cake, and it's discolored a bit, but crumb, not just the outside, but the crumb cake and the soft suede. And so I'm just going to open that up. And oh, you could use just one color. And if you used one color, here's an example of what you could do. This would be just crumb cake altogether, and this would be soft suede. This is what Sahara sand would look like, and this is what cinnamon cider would look like. Then if you want to do the bird a different color, here's some cases where I use cinnamon cider on the bottom, and I use gray granite for the bird. And this one I use soft suede with crumb cake as the bird. And in this one here, I use soft suede, and it says crumb cake, and I'm going to show you why in a minute. And then, because I've combined them, and this one I've combined Misty Moonlight and Smoky Slate, and this one with Basic Gray and Misty Moonlight. And then these two were reversed. And the reason I say that is I find that I like to take the lighter color. So this one is crumb cake, and we're just going to ink that up and stamp that just so you can see what it looks like. So that's what it would look like if you just did crumb cake. Now I'm going to put it right beside, but before I do that, I'm going to take my little dauber, and I see got a little bit right on the top there. And then we're going to just put a little bit of the darker brown, kind of just a little bit on there. And then we're going to put that down. So you can see how just a little more variation in the colors. So let me find my ink cleaner. There we go. And if this is what we were going to use, well, maybe let's show you how to do the other. So in other words, if I'm going to do the crumb cake only on the bottom, and I want the bird to be a different color, what I did in this case is I took get the right hold of it, there we go, and I then don't get it on the bird tail, but just kind of go away from it, and I'm just going to make this my solid color in the crumb cake. Look how they did the rope there. It's so cool because that part comes a negative piece, but you sure can tell where that is. Okay, so now I have that on there. Now I'm going to take some soft suede, and I'm just going to put a few little spots. Get that off of my hand. Oh, and I forgot to do the bird. Hang on. And, oh, and I forgot, hang on, I forgot my ink. Oh dear. Too many things. Smoky slate. Okay. So sorry. Okay, now don't have my gray, so I'm just going to clean that off a little bit. Now I'm going to take this bird, and I'm going to go around the little birdie. And again, you don't want to get the log, so I kind of take the end and move outwards. Okay, and then if we want it a little bit darker, or if we want to put a little variation in color, what I have here is a little bit of Misty Moonlight, and I think I'm just going to put a little bit kind of on this side of the bird. Okay, now because this is dried a little bit, we've got to do a huff. All right, and go down, and there we have a variation in color. So you can see how that looks so much nicer than just that kind of blotchy look. It looks more realistic when you do a little bit of sponging on it. So that's my tip for the log and the bird. And like you can see, there are many variations. I even did some other ones that I was doing here, even with more Misty Moonlight and with the basic gray. And anyway, I had some fun testing it out. And when I get a new stamp set, actually, that's what I will do, is I will just start stamping without even making a card. Just start stamping in some different colors and in different ways, just so that I can get a little better idea of how that stamp set works and what I would like to do with it. So, all right, now we need to cut this bird out. So I'm going to bring in the mini, and of course, lucky for us, there's dies for this set, which is great. And I'm just going to cut it out so it's a little easier to center in the middle. I am using my mini cut and emboss, as we have, actually I'm going to go this way so I can line it up a little easier. This actually machine, the little machine, is actually right now 20% off. So it's a good deal. And if you don't have one and want to just see how you like it, it's a good way to start, or a little one to bring camping or on holidays. That's another good use of it. I like it here on my table when I'm doing demonstrations, just because of the fact that it's kind of hard to have a big machine. But definitely if you do lots, you'll want to use the big one just because it fits everything. Most dies fit on the mini, and quite a few of the mini embossing folders are designed to fit on there as well. All right, so we got our bird. I'm going to put that aside for now. And now I'm going to bring in, where did I put it? My Stamparatus. And here is my beautiful wave that I have already placed inside of my Stamparatus. And I find when I'm doing a bigger stamp, or one that I want to combine, or especially if I want to make sure that I get the whole stamped, the Stamparatus is your best friend. So what I have done here, oops, I got a little bit of blue on there. Let's get rid of that first. We're going to take a paper. Now here we go. Got too many piles all around me. So this piece here is a smaller piece, because this is what we want for the showcase of our card. So I kind of took my pencil and I kind of made, I don't know if you can see it there, just a tiny little mark. And I can see just a little spot right there where I had measured before. And I find that especially when you're doing the wave, that's a really good thing to do, because if you don't, I'll give you an example. Then you're going to end up with a white spot on the end. And we might like white spot restaurant, but we don't necessarily want a white spot on our card. There's Carol. Hello, Carol. Nice you could join us. Okay, so what we're going to do here now is I'm going to use two colors. I'm going to use the Balmy Blue, and I'm going to use Misty Moonlight. So we're going to take the Balmy Blue, and we're going to, first of all, we're going to just ink that up. Not too much. And just pull it this way so you can see it a little better. And so when you're lining it up, you really have to make sure that you are well over the paper, so that you're going to end up with it right on the piece that you want. And if it overhangs a little bit, that's okay too. And if you're wondering what I'm using, this is just a dry erase. I got it at Staples. They have more expensive ones, but by their erase boards, white erase boards, they have this cheaper one. I think it was $3.50 or something like that. And I just find it helps with the even pressure going around. And we'll lift this up. And there, if you have one color, then that's what it would look like. Now, I'm going to show you two different ways. If you took your, where's my Misty Moonlight? Right here. Okay. And if you took your dauber, or you could even do your blending brush, and maybe you just want to do a few little, can you see? I think so. So you could do this with a sponge dauber, or you could do it with your blending brush. But basically all you're going to do now is just put a few little spots of the Misty Moonlight on top there. And it gives you another look. Now I'm going to show you one more way, and this is my preferred way to do it. Let me see. Did I not cut out another paper? I didn't. Okay, well, we'll cut it out later because I'm going to show you what I find better to do it that way than that. Pardon me. Okay, so let's put these down here, not on top of each other. They are very strong magnets. Okay, so now we got that on there. Okay, Balmy Blue is over here. Okay, and what we're going to do is, again, we're going to ink that up, as you can see. And now we're going to take the blending brush before we put it on there. And we're just going to put a few dabs with our blending brush. And you can give it another huff. A little hard in the Stamparatus and a camera. There we go. And now we're going to press down. And there. So I'm going to show you the difference. You see how it tends to be, I don't know, it seems to be more, almost too wet, and it's kind of blotchy. So what I would recommend is the second way I just did that, where you ink it in your solid color first, and then you could take your sponge dauber or your blending brush and just do some little dots. And I find it comes out much, oof, and I just gave it a nice big splush. Oh, I can't put up with that one, sorry. Let's try it again. Oh, I guess we need some more practice. Okay, let's try this. So again, I'm going to show you in a minute a whole bunch of other color combinations that you can do this way, as I am just using these two colors because it matches the cardstock that I chose. But there are so many possibilities that we can use with this wave. And they all have some pretty amazing results. Okay. So, did we get it? Yep, we did. Let's try not to smudge it this time, Madeline. There, we did it. All right. So now I'm going to show you. So I'm just going to put this over here for now. I'm going to show you some other ones that I have done. So this was the Balmy Blue. I'm just going to close it up. Oops. I don't trust myself with ink, as you've already seen tonight. So there's our two colors, the Balmy Blue and the Misty Moonlight. But here's some others. So this here is Pool Party with the Coastal Cabana. And so whatever color I have at, or name of color I have at the top, that was my first stamp. And then I would just sponge daub some little spots with the second color. And this one I did Bermuda Bay with a little bit of Calypso Coral, just to get a little bit of orange in there. And this one I did Coastal Cabana with Calypso Coral and Pacific Point. So I had 3 colors on that one. Looks pretty cool. And here again, you can see this is as I'm beginning and leaving that little white strip. Coastal Cabana with the Bermuda Bay. So that's quite a nice color combination. I like that. I really like this one. Balmy Blue with the Pacific Point. Pacific Point with Night and Navy, so that's definitely a little darker. Pacific Point with the Misty Moonlight. So you can see how many options there are. And this is the one we did. Balmy Blue with Misty Moonlight. But look what all you can do with it. Now, we had, of course, the Stamparatus, the wave in there. And what I did is I shifted the stamp a little bit. And then we got this kind of mark. And I saw that somebody else had done that too. And they had done it. And it looked like, you know, all the waves still splashing on the side. So that's kind of another different technique. And this one I tried using some Crystal Effect dots. I don't know if you can see that on there. Just for something different. So we tried that. And then I'm going to show you some more cards at the end as to how you can then transform even more cards. But for now, I am just going to trim my white here again, since I ended up doing the second one. Oops. There we go. And right there. Okay. Let's get those out of there. All right. So, which one was it? This. Now I can't even remember. Which one did we do? Oh boy. This one. Can you see the difference? This one is definitely more blended together and kind of smudgy, whereas this one you can definitely see some more defined different colors. So yes, those are amazing different colors, aren't they, Leanne? All right, so what we're going to do for our card here is we're going to take this layer and we're going to glue that onto a Misty Moonlight. So where's my silicone mat? We're going to take that out and we're going to glue. So there's my smudgy fingers already. Good thing nobody sees that part. Actually, I don't want to put glue on this yet. You know, oh boy, this is the advantage with a silicone mat, because look what I can do. I can lay it down here and it will come off. Oh boy. That's why I wasn't supposed to put the inks completely on the other side. So what we want to do here is just use a teeny little bit of color. So I'm going to go off and just gently come in and just swirl it around so we get a little bit of light color. And you can make this as light or as dark as you want. I just don't like it when it is the stark white, because we know in nature that definitely is not the case. So in this case, I think we're just going to do a little. I'll show you the card that we made at Stamp Club, and it definitely, that one had quite a bit of a darker sky, but okay. So now we are going to close that up. Now we're going to glue. So this is where I just move my silicone mat. And I usually have another silicone mat beside me, and I don't. Okay. Been getting my studio all ready because tomorrow I have tool time. So I moved a few things around, and that's enough to get everything mixed up. But it will be good, don't worry. All right, so this time now we're going to glue. It's so nice to be able to not only be back in person, but if you don't want to wear a mask now, we don't have to. Marcia, you had that a little sooner in Alberta. That just happened for us today. So, all right, so now we're going to stick that. So I'm doing a few different layers just to make it look really nice. Now, I wanted you to tell me, what do you think? Do you think I should post this onto a darker card, or should I put it on a white card? So think about that. White or on the navy, Night of Navy. And while you do that, I am going to get this ready over here. And so I'm just waiting for your response. Somebody can tell me, Night of Navy or white. And I think I may just try coloring this guy's beak a little bit. And I think if we're going to color navy, yeah, I think I like the navy too, Carol. That would have been my choice. Okay. So let me just finish coloring our birdie. Oh, Leanne says navy too. Okay. There we go. I think we've got a vote. So now we're just going to color this bird. Just a little bit. Because they have so many colors on there, I don't think we need to worry about doing any blending. That looks pretty simple. Okay, navy it is. So we're going to put some glue on the back of this. Just like that. Nope, not upside down. That's a very important thing. We don't want upside down cards. Okay. So by doing that, we've already stepped it up just because we've got several layers of colors there. And yes, I agree. If this was maybe staying white, but right now everything's in the blue tones. So I think navy is a good choice. Okay, so now we got the birdie, but we also have our sentiment. And I am going to use Misty Moonlight. And most of the time I tell you to stamp, stamp and then cut out. And I definitely say, where did my white papers go? I'm lost. I had a whole pile of them. I think I covered it up. Oh my goodness. That's hiding here somewhere. And in this case, oh here, yeah, there's the big pile. And in this case, I definitely suggest you do that. You can do it that way. I actually, in this case, like to take my stamp. I'll show you the difference. And then you want to cut out. But I find in this particular, and I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I found it easier to just take the die. Can we see here? No. Move it a little closer. I found it easier just to cut this out first, and then it's so much easier to just line up in there. Sorry, I might jiggle the table a little bit. Okay. All right. So I'll move that out of the way. So now that you have it already cut out, we're going to take our Misty Moonlight, or you could use Night in Navy. You could use Black Memento. I find that when I use black, it quite often is very stark, and I find that I kind of like it when I have either a basic gray or evening evergreen or Night in Navy. In this case, I've used, what is it called? Misty Moonlight. And remember, Misty Moonlight is actually one of the colors that was an in color last year. And so Misty Moonlight is on its way out, and it's one of my favorite colors. But if it's yours too, remember, you need to make sure you get some before they close the catalog. So here we go. Now we got this piece. And so now we're ready to start putting things together. Now, I should say, when we were in our stamp club, we took, when this ink was wet, we took it and we used the Wink Estella. See if I can find our card that we made. Nope. Yep, this one. So you can see here, this is pretty close other than we used the darker color. But if you can see the sparkle, that's because I took, when the ink was wet, I took it, yes, or early espresso. That's right, Carol. All those darker colors in it. I find I really prefer that look. Absolutely. And so all you do here is then you take your Wink Estella and then you just blend in your color. And it's like a blending pen with sparkles. So that's pretty cool. So in this case, we're not going to do that. But I was going to show you another thing that you can do. You could take your Wink Estella and let's move it over this way a little bit more. And let's do a little bit of spray. I think I have to push it a little bit. Don't do it over your card in case it blots out of there. Is it working? Now it is. Just to put a little sparkle on there. just so it's not so matte looking. And you can also do it with the marker. You can do the same thing, and then those colors would be all the way around as well. But this time we're just going to use the Misty Moonlight. And can you see that? I may not be able to see it on the camera. There's just a tiny little splatter of Wink of Stella. Okay, so here we are now with our sentiment. And, oh, I should say, the other sentiment says, "You're totally awesome." And then they have two long skinny ones, which the happy birthday fits in this beautiful little sentiment holder. And then this long one as well. Our friendship is a thing of beauty. So very, very nice. Oh, and bird. That just reminded me. Are we going to put some birds? I think we need to put some birds. All right. So, yes, Carol, you know, we forget different ways to use our Wink of Stella, don't we? With so many of our products. Oops, that got a little too dark. Where's my cleaner? And sometimes it's just nice because it leaves just a little bit of a shimmer. And it's a little bit more subtle. Let's make sure that's not, yeah, that's good. So let's just put a few birds flying in different directions. Okay, there we got the birds. Good thing I remembered the birds there at the last minute. Okay, and now you could take a piece of cardstock, or in this case, I have the foil. You could also use ribbon, and you can put that through. As you'll see, I have another one that I've done. And in this case, you can take the foil, and you can put the foil in there. And, oh, we're going to cover up a bird. I should have been watching where I was putting the birdie. How about right there? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it about there. And you could leave it straight. What do you think? Should we leave it straight or should... I think we should. I think we should do what we did at Stamp Club for that other card. We will just take the corners in. Just a little bit like that. This one here. In and in. Okay. Get those guys off of there. Now, I feel, again, we should pop these guys. And you can either glue down your piece of foil, or in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put one of these holding that side down. And then on this side, I'm going to put one and holding that side down. Two birds and one stone, hey? All right. So now we're going to take this. And I think we can put that right there. Okay, now time for my rhinestones. And I've lost my rhinestones. Nope. Big stretch. Got too many things pushed onto my desk here. Okay, so I think it's time to use, again, do I use again my favorite colors? Oh, I can't help it. Now, where are we going to put these? We're going to put them on the sentiment? What do you guys think? Not sure. Uh-oh, I forgot our birdie. I was going to put the birdie on too. Oops. Well, I think his log is just going to go down. Okay, tell me what you're thinking there. Yes? Okay. On the sentiment. That's Carol's vote. Okay, I'm going to snip that off. Because you don't need to use all the logs. And I just want him to kind of be in the corner like that. So we're going to put him on. Good thing I saw my bird. Oh my goodness. Can't forget him. Is it showing a little bit? I think it'll be okay. All right. Now it's sticking to my thumb. Okay, and we're going to put a little bird there. All right. And now, sentiment. Woo, look at that bright blue. Oh boy, where are we going to put him? Maybe one there. Whoop, he didn't stay there. Maybe one there by, oof. Okay, stay. There we go. All right. There we have the big wave. Just amazing. All right. Yes, I'm excited. I'm going to be going to Tofino with my son for his birthday in April, so I can hardly wait to see those beautiful big waves. So, okay, that's the card we made. This is the one we did at our stamp club, and as you can see here, I've used the blending brush, and I've used Balmy Blue and Misty Moonlight to make that background, and then I did put the foil. Now, I'm going to show you here. That's, whoops, oh dear, now they're tangled up in my phone cord. And that is when you have your waves. Again, when I was practicing, this is another thing. Oh, thanks, Carol. He's never been there before, so he's very excited too, and I'm excited to show him. So here we have the waves, and what I do is I just make a bunch of different ones just so I could kind of see what I like best. So then here's what it would look like in silver foil. Here's what it would look like in the teal. Or actually, it's Bermuda Bay, pardon me. Isn't that gorgeous? And then this is the night and navy. So that's another thing that I really do find that helps me when I get a new set is, again, just trying, especially when it's something like that you want to layer. Now, this is another card that we did make at our stamp club, as you ladies will remember. And again, just focusing on our bird. And as you can see, the bird's not on one of them, and that's okay. You can just use the logs. And then I made this one, trying to showcase our beautiful paper, designer paper. And it does an incredible, and you see how I've used the ribbon here behind this one. And then this particular one, I was trying to use the other colors, and the Costa Cabana and the Bermuda Bay, and those rhinestones, which match, of course, that foil as well. And then I used the skinny one here with a ribbon. So many different ways that you can use it. And this lady, oh, I wish I wrote down her name, but she did a video where she showed this card or similar to it, and I absolutely loved it. I think she had some different shapes, but I love this ribbon on it. It just looks bold, just like the paper. So that's another beautiful example. And then here's another sample that I, again, was experimenting, and I was using some embossing paste. And I've seen somebody recently post something where they had a lot of embossing paste, making it look like lots of the foam, which is true from the waves. And here, again, just another way that you can put your embellishments. You don't have to just scatter them. You can make them more purposeful in a row, and big and small. So there are some ideas for this absolutely beautiful collection. And then the only other thing I was going to show you is that at the end of the month, we get to do, oh, I forgot. Oh, hang on. I just, back up. I was going to show you these other clouds. Look at these clouds. So these clouds, got a funny thing on it. These look really strange, like what on earth? But they actually will add some texture to the cloud. So if you did want to use, they're big sizes and there is a little size. So I just want to show you as another option, as I already put the birds on, not thinking. Wonder if we can put them on top. Oh, we actually could, but white doesn't show up as much. But again, lots of options. You can cut out the birds. Here you can cut out the clouds, and you can put some of those clouds on there, and actually that would look really nice. So again, there's an option using the clouds. Okay, and at the end of the month, we're going to be able to do Shelley, hi Shelley. We're also going to be able to do a stamping event in the church hall so that we can have lots of space and be able to do lots of different things. And this is one of the cards that we are going to make, as well as we're going to do tulips. And I'm also going to teach you a new skill, different from what I've taught you before with embossing folders. So be sure to check that up and sign up for that, as that will be a lot of fun. But yes, I am glad that you joined me tonight, and you thought the little pieces were smaller waves. Well, you know what, Leanne? You never know. They could be almost anything, but yes, that's what they're designed for. And you could layer them in colors too, right? So you don't have to have the same color. Yes. But definitely go check out my website, and you can look at the menu under classes, under the in-person classes, and that's where you will find the Stampin' Fun get-together and all the other things that I'm going to be doing this month. So let me know if you'd like my newsletter as well, and I can get you my newsletter if you're not already receiving it. But there we go. Have fun with this amazing collection. I am really hoping you enjoy it as much as I do. I have been, having too much fun with it, obviously. And you can see these are some of my favorite colors. I had to stretch myself and use something with yellow with it, because blue is one of my favorite colors. But there is the beautiful yellow as well. So a paper sticking to me. So thank you, ladies, for joining me. And we'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye-bye.